Las Vegas traffic. Something we all love to hate, but for one group of drivers, nearly every commute can be called a hair-raising experience.
Self-preservation. You have to take care of yourself because there's so many hazards out there. Cars, trucks, oil patches, debris on the roadway, they're all dangerous to a motorcyclist. You don't have that safety net of four wheels on the ground. There's only two, and if something is taking away some of that traction, you're on wet surface or whatever, you have to be even more careful. And that's a big challenge for a lot of motorcyclists is because we're busy. Our lives are busy. We tend to try to cram too many things in, and when you're out on that pleasure ride, make it a pleasure ride, but focus on that being safe on the motorcycle.
Senior motor officer and trainer Preston Farnsworth has seen his fair share of motorcycle accidents. The most common cause?
Right-of-way violations, where typically it's a passenger car. They make left turns to get into private driveways or streets, and because I don't know if it's a mentality of they don't see motorcycles because they're smaller objects, which is possible. You know, motorcycles do take a little less space up as we're looking down the road to see if it's clear, but I think it's maybe the misconceptions that motorcycles can stop quicker or ride faster. So they have in their mind that motorcyclists can avoid anything on the road, and that's not the case. And I think if people would be a little bit more observant, and then also the motorcyclist has to be aware of that. When you see that car starting to turn or pull up into the turn lane, that's a good time to start decreasing your speed, because the slower you're going, the better your chances of reaction to that vehicle if it does turn in front of you are going to be. You're going to be able to avoid it, or at least decrease your speed tremendously to where instead of a bigger impact, you have a less impact, if there's going to be an impact. But you know, I've heard a lot of motorcyclists say, I just had to lay it down, I didn't have a choice. You're out of control if you put the bike on the ground. There's no braking going to take place. The bike is going to actually slide faster on its shiny parts than it is on the rubber parts. So you want to keep the rubber side down.
Metro motor officers go through extensive training and recertification twice a year, but the department has taken motorcycle safety one step further.
Turn those bars. Look where you want to go. Look over there. Ah, you look down.
And what we're doing is these guys all ride, whether it's personal bikes or maybe they have an interest in coming to traffic and they want to be a motor officer someday. What we've, with the blessing of our department and the sheriff, we've got this riding course where we can put them out here, give them some skills to prepare them if they decide they want to be a motor officer someday, but also take their personal bikes out there and be a lot safer. And it's very similar to the other courses that are taught here in the Valley. You have the Motorcycle Safety Foundation at the community college, and I know Harley-Davidson has, at both Harley of Henderson and Las Vegas Harley-Davidson have a Rider's Edge program, which are great programs for the civilians if they're interested. That's kind of the same thing we're doing, but we're doing it for our officers here so that they can better their skills and hopefully keep them from getting hurt on the street where we have loss of manpower from them due to an injury on their personal bikes.
Motorcycle riding can be enjoyable, and it makes sense with today's fuel prices. But Officer Farnsworth has this advice.
Even though we're on motorcycles, we still have to be responsible for ourselves and not take those chances and not put ourselves in those high-risk situations where we don't have as much time as we need. The faster you go, the harder it is to get the bike to slow down and decrease its speed. So I think just slowing down and giving yourself more space and just be aware of what's going on around you. Get your vision out and focus at the riding task is going to be something that all motorcyclists would benefit from greatly.